an adult volunteer that is competitive? Competitive. Come on, you guys. Come on, Michael. You're not an adult. Nobody? Jesse, come on. Saw her hand first. Nobody trusts me after the saltwater incident, do they?
What saltwater
I'm not
incident?
having you drink anything. Come on. Alright. Actually, what I'm going to do is now, Jesse, you said you're competitive, right? You have to beat the clock. Alright. Uh-oh. Somebody have Alexis use my phone.
How many minutes?
I need a 1 minute timer, please, but don't start it yet. You're nervous. All right, there's 3 buckets. You have to stand on this side of the microphone stand, okay? So somewhere, like, can't go in front of the microphone stand. It's not a microwave. Thank you, baby. I want you to get every one of those into one of those buckets in 60 seconds. Got it? I want you to try your best. Ready, Mark? Get set, go. Oh. You ever feel like people are watching you?
All
30
right.
seconds.
All right. Keep going.
Pick all the rest of them up, throw them in at once, then do it.
15 seconds.
What behind you?
It was 24.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, go count how many you got in. There you go. 3? All right, guys, give her a hand. And there were 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I crinkled up.
So, Jesse, I hate to tell you, pitching is probably not your thing.
Oh.
There were 21 that you missed. Don't worry, there's a reason why I didn't do it.
I wouldn't have got
I'm not sure I would have either, Miss Marty. Have you ever played other minute to win it games? It's a minute to win it. The goal is to win in under 60 seconds. They're actually some of the best party games because they're quick. And people who are highly competitive, they get loud. Now, Jesse's pretty quiet, right? But they get loud. And if you have a team going, then sometimes, even among Christian circles, there's some trash talk going on. Oh, it's all clean and in good fun, but it's funny because you are trying your best to win. Now, go ahead and raise your hand for me if you are highly competitive. There's not that many of you, really? Oh, you guys, this kind of breaks my heart a little bit. You can put your hands down. I want to win. You guys don't care if you win?
I care if I win.
I do too. I
I
don't care
will
if I
win.
win. I want to win, not at all costs, but pretty close. I want to win. Just ask Sean. I want to win the argument. I want to win. I'm right, and I will prove to you that I'm right.
Ever heard the story about the tortoise and the hare? Sometimes the slow one is the winner.
Yeah, well, not in my world. Slow and steady wins the race, not in minute to win it games, you guys. Minute to win it, you have 60 seconds.
As you get older, though, your things about what you want to do changes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, your goal changes, but I will tell you this. I will tell you this. There are still things that people in the older generation want to accomplish. Right?
Right.
There's still things that you want to accomplish. actually, I venture to say that for a lot of us, no matter what stage of life we are in, at the end of the day, there are days when you say, oh, I just didn't get it done.
A lot.
Right? Come on now. Some of you are farmers. Some of you mow grass. Some of you have kids. Some of you have piles of laundry. Some of you have dishes. Some of you have dusting. I don't dust anymore. I make that Anna's job. But
You make that who's job?
Anna, she's little. She can dust all day long. Yeah. But there are still things at the end of the day that, not every day, but some days where I just didn't get it all done.
I got help from the kids.
Sometimes, but sometimes those kids are more hurt than help. They have more laundry than I want to do. They have more dishes. They make more messes. I just got on the floor in my kitchen and scrubbed my kitchen floor on my hands and knees yesterday, and I can guarantee you that by the end of the day, it will be messy again. Why? Because they trap dirt in, and that's just part of life. Things happen like that. Sometimes, like this week, I didn't get all the cords done in the back that I wanted to accomplish because I got sidetracked by other things, such as one of the TVs wasn't hooking up right, so I wanted to fix it before church today. Did some directory stuff. Then I had kids stuff to do. Then we had this, and then we had that, and there's always piles of laundry. Moms, really? Like, if you don't have kids in the house now, but do you remember when you had piles of laundry?
Yes.
I feel like I could say I will always have laundry among me. It just is there all the time. Dishes, they're always there. Do you ever have something in your life that you go, oh, I'm just never done with fill in the blank? Maybe it's your chore list. Maybe it's the people that you want to visit. Oh, I just never have time. I want to go ahead and have you turn. We're actually going to do 2 verses. So if you want, you don't have to turn to both, but you can either turn to Romans 13 or Colossians 4, and it's up to you which one you turn to. Romans 13:11 says, this is 11b. Actually, and if you will go ahead and stand for the reading of the word. Romans 13:11b. The hour has already come for you to wake up from your slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. Colossians 4:5 and 6 say, be wise in the way you act toward outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. This is the word of the Lord to us today. Thanks be to God. You may be seated. Now you might be going, what in the world do those 2 verses have to do with each other? Well, the first one, the hour has come for you to wake up from your slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than it has ever been. Well, that's true. Christ is coming back sooner today than he was yesterday, and the day before, and the day before, and you get the point. We are being called to wake up, church. Let me tell you, you will always have laundry to do if you're a mother. The laundry will wait. You might always have something to do on your list. There are times when you need to put that on hold because Christ is coming. And it is more important to testify about Christ than it is to do the laundry. Now, as hard as that is for me, because I really like to have my laundry room clean, like really like for it to be clean, Let me just go ahead and tell you now, there are very few days when there's not a pile of laundry in there. Right, Elijah? Every Wednesday when Miss Samantha comes over for Kids Club, I shut that door and she goes, I know what it looks like, it's so fine. I shut that laundry room door because there's always something in it. I feel like I'm running on limited time, just like Jesse was trying to get all these paper balls in to these buckets. I just feel like I'm standing over here time and time again, and I throw and miss because I've got so much to do, and I'm trying, and I feel the clock counting down. Oh my goodness, I can't believe there's so much that I need to do, and I don't get it all done. Now, if I were to be honest, I'm not going to say that the laundry is not important. My kids need to be clothed. You know, let's be real. The grass does need to be mowed. The dishes do need to be done. But there are moments in life when you need to realize that God is calling you to something more. God has called you to wake up from the everyday routine and to realize that it is your responsibility as a Christ follower to speak Christ into those around you. That is more important than everything else, no matter what is on your to-do list. There are many, many times when I see someone in passing and I am on my way to do the next thing on my list. And I don't stop because I have got to get this done. And I'll be honest, there are many times where I even say, well, I've got to get this done for you, Jesus. Right? Lord, I have got to get this directory printed. It has been too long. It has taken me too long. I need to get this done. And I miss that other opportunity that is sitting right in front of me to tell someone about Christ. To explain to them through my love and actions how much Christ loves them. In Romans, he is telling us, wake up, church. That is your true calling. As much as it is to do all of the daily grind of life, you are supposed to put me above all of that. Now, I'm not going to be naive and say this is easy to do, or even easy to hear, because I still have laundry to do sitting in my house. I don't even want to count how many loads that I've washed but not folded. Yeah, I'm guilty, okay? I have owned it. It's just a part of who I am today. But instead of staying home and folding laundry and having my laundry room perfect, which would be a dream of mine, I chose to come. And not just because I'm your pastor, although it would be pretty bad if I didn't show up.
It would be.
It would be, yes. But I choose to be here because Christ has to come first. Now, I understand that even Christ says that sometimes your ox gets in a ditch and sometimes you got to go take care of that. I understand. But sometimes I also have to understand that sometimes it's not the ox in the ditch that we're skipping church for. Now, I'm not here to say what you should and shouldn't miss church for. That's between you and God. Sometimes he is calling you to sleep because sleep is incredibly important for not only your mental health, but your physical health, your spiritual health. But I will tell you that all too often we miss our Christ opportunities because we are so focused with our nose down. I've got my list of things to do and I need to get it done. Now this is where Colossians 4 comes in. And this is where it says, be wise in the way you act toward others. Make the most of every opportunity. That's the part that I have highlighted. Make the most out of every opportunity. Not only are we being called to wake up, church, because Christ has a higher calling for us, he is calling you to make the most out of every opportunity. Sometimes we have coworkers that really need Jesus. And we can say they really need Jesus, but until we start acting like Jesus and loving them like Jesus, they will not understand Jesus. Do you get what I'm saying? It is your responsibility to be Jesus to them. Yeah, I am putting the blame on us. It is our responsibility to be Christ to those in our lives. And when we are not doing that, we are not being faithful to what Christ has called us to. When we are so focused on getting our own thing done, instead of focusing on what others need and what others need to hear about Christ through us, we are in the wrong. That's not easy. It's not easy for me to say, and it's probably not easy to hear. I know it's not easy. It's not been easy for me to hear this week. There are so many times in life that we get so focused on what we're doing over here, and we're missing the mark. Sometimes we're making the mark, and we feel good about ourselves. Hey, I got everything done today. I'm awesome. I got it all done. I got my checklist. Yes. But we've missed those God chance encounters. Oh, wait. They're not chance encounters. They're God encounters that God has lined us up for. But when we have our head down, focused on what we've got to do right in front of us, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, my head's focused where? Down. When I start to look up and go, okay, God, I'm in a hurry. I want to get A, B, C through Z done today. And this is not easy for me, but I'm going to take a look around and say, oh, Lord, I need you to be Jesus in me today so that I can reach out to others. Because as much as I want to get my list done, and as important as that is, people are more important.
Amen.
We have a saying in our house, and it's actually very fitting for days like today where I've got 3 birthdays this week in this house. 1 today, 1 Tuesday, 1 Friday. We used to do during, normal times before the pandemic hit, we used to do birthday parties, right? My kids are normal kids. They have things that they like and that they don't like. That's normal. We have things that we like and we don't like. However, we as adults have learned to temper our reactions when we get a gift at something that we don't necessarily like. Right? We've learned to go, thank you. Do what?
So that's so pretty.
That's so pretty. That's mine and Sean's phrase for, when we're being extremely special. But kids, they're honest. And they go, oh, I didn't want that. What am I going to do with that? We have a saying in our house, people are more important. We say it often. People are more important. And so seasons like this, we go, people are more important than presents. I don't care if you liked it or not. That's not the important thing. Who gave it to you? Do they care about you? Do they love you? Oh my goodness, you need to acknowledge that and love them. Right? Even if it's something that you will never ever use. The thought was there and they love you, and that's why they gave you something. At Christmas Christmas time, we kind of go through this again. People are more important because they get their eyes glued on the Christmas tree and gimme, gimme, gimme. And they're kids. They're normal. They're like some of us sometimes. When we get our eyes on getting our things done. It's the same thing. Well, it's not easy to hear, is it? You don't want to be the kid that goes, gimme, gimme, gimme. And you say you're not, but when you're so focused on you and what you need to get done, isn't that the same attitude? It really is. And so I'm going to challenge you today and encourage you with the same thing that my family says often. People are more important. People are more important than laundry. People are more important than getting the dishes done. People are more important than a clean house. That's very hard. When I was growing up, people were not allowed in my house unless it was clean. Well, there were 3 kids. My mom wouldn't let anybody come over unless the house was clean. So my friend Amanda decided, well, okay, I'm going to start coming over and cleaning their house so I can come over. And she totally did. She cleaned my bedroom. She cleaned the living room. She cleaned whatever. She cleaned my brother's room. Just so she could come and hang out. Because she realized something even at her young age is that she wanted to be with the people. She didn't care what she was doing. She's still one of my closest friends today because she realizes still that people are more important. I want your coworkers to know him. I want the person that checks you out at the grocery store that is crying. I want her to know him. I want the kids down the street. I want them to know Jesus. And so if I invite them into my house on a Wednesday night when my house is a hot mess, there's dishes, the counters are full, my laundry needs to be done. But if I invite them in because I think that they are more important than how clean my house is, that's where I want you to be. And I'm not saying that I've gotten there every day. Far from it. This week I missed some opportunities and I look back and go, oh, they say hindsight is 20/20. Oh, I missed some God moments this week. And I was so focused on hiding these cords that you guys would have loved me even if I didn't hide the cords. Let's be real. I mean, yeah, we want them hidden, but look, come on. We want things done, absolutely. But more than anything, our heart's desire should be to wake up. Make every moment count. Tell others about Jesus. This week we have started our series on stewardship. If you haven't guessed, today is time. How are you spending your time? One of the things that I've learned to do is listen to audiobooks when I'm folding laundry. Because first of all, I say, oh, I can't hear you to the kids, right? Because I've got my audiobook on and like, just go do whatever you need to do if I'm not listening. I get away. But I also am reading books to teach me how to be a better Christian. Sometimes it's a book about preaching. Sometimes it's a book about servanthood. Sometimes it's a book about the changing days and how churches are needing to change to still be relevant. Sometimes it's a book about anxiety and Jesus. How in the world do you love Jesus and still have anxiety? Knowing that in the scriptures, he tells you hundreds of times, do not fear. And so when you struggle with anxiety, it's a real challenge. So I read books to help me grow in that. Because I'm not perfect. I'm not there yet. If I were perfect, I'd be in heaven with Jesus. So I'm not there yet. Let me tell you, if you're here today, you're not perfect either. And I get great comfort in that. Not because I don't want you to be perfect, but because I know I'm not alone. You're not alone. Isn't that comforting? Who wants to be alone? We need to take a moment. Spend time with Jesus. Spend time with those who do not know Jesus. If you do not know somebody that doesn't know Jesus, I encourage you, even in these days, I encourage you to find somebody. Because your responsibility is to teach others about him. If you are not discipling somebody, it's your responsibility to do so. If you are not being discipled by someone, it's your responsibility to get that done too. I'm discipling someone, and sometimes it's really organized and really well done, and sometimes it's a hot mess. The point is, we spend time together. We do life together. We talk about life things. We talk about Jesus. We talk about hard things. We talk about whatever. Doesn't matter. The goal is for that person to see Jesus in me. Imperfections and all. I am being discipled by another pastor that is older and wiser than I am. And the goal is for me to see Jesus in him and to learn from him. Does he have it all figured out? No. He's further along on the journey than I am, so I take notes. Right? That is the goal. That is community. That is Jesus being alive in me and in the person I'm discipling and in the person that is discipling me. We are connecting with Jesus at the center. That is what you need in your life, whether you realize it or not. Because it's beautiful. Time is fleeting. Right, Jesse? Did you feel the time crunch when I started counting down? You did. You felt like it was slipping out, didn't you? I'm running out of time. I'm not making enough difference. I need to make more shots in the bucket, right? The best way that you can make just shot after shot after shot in that bucket is to teach people about Jesus. That's where your time needs to go. And if you have laundry that needs to be done, guess what? It'll wait. It'll be there tomorrow. The laundry we will always have. Why don't you stand with me today? God, we understand that our time should not be our own. And Lord, we understand that a lot of times we have things that we want to get done, and that's not wrong. There are practical parts of life that we do need to do. But Lord, help us to look up so that we can be focused not just on the task at hand, but Lord, help us to focus on the people that you want us to minister to. Help us to focus so much on you, Jesus, that in our doing everyday life, we can speak your life into others. Your love. Teach them, Lord, that you are enough. That you are the only reason to breathe. That we have breath. Everything should be focused so much on you, Jesus. God, I pray that you would help us to wake up. To not spend our days so focused on the task at hand that we can't see what you are doing. God, I pray that you would help us to make every moment count. And not just count for practical reasons, but every moment count for a life lived in you. Lord, as we are facing these challenges, I pray that you would help break us out of our comfort zone. Help us find ways to minister to others, to love others with the love of Christ, Lord. that might look a little different. But Lord, I pray that you would use our gifts and our abilities for your kingdom, so that your kingdom would grow. Lord, help every moment matter. Help us to remember that people are more important. And Lord, help us to remember that you are King. Lord, we love you and we praise you and we pray this in your holy name. Amen. Today, go knowing that Christ has called you to make every moment matter.